Hi there.
Hi there.
Welcome to Gardening 2022, episode 19. We're going to do a lot of gardening today, aren't we, Jane?
Yes.
We're going to pick some tomatoes.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Me too, meow.
Oh yeah, show Kitty.
Meow.
Meow. Meow, meow. We're going to pick tomatoes. We're going to pick some radishes. We're going to pick some peppers, a couple cucumbers, maybe some shallots. Going to check in on the shallots. Going to check in on the beans. We're going to trellis up the new beans. We're going to fix our corn. I don't really want to do it. It's a little late, but I'm going to do it. I learned you're not supposed to plant multiple varieties of corn next to each other, and I did. So I have 2 rows of one type of corn and then 2 rows of 2 other kinds of corn. Got to pull those rows, which sucks, and plant the other corn again. So we're going to do that. We're going to plant some corn, Jane.
Yes.
And we're going to plant lots of flowers. My wife has gotten really into monarch butterfly beds. We ordered a bunch of appropriate flower seeds. We did prep those 2 beds last week for flowers, so we'll do those 2 beds. And then we have a bed by my mother-in-law's house we might also do, but I need to wait until Emma wakes up, my wife, wakes up and tells me if that's where she wants it or not. So let us start by trellising and picking tomatoes. Sound good, Jane?
Okay, meow.
Okay, meow meow. Pretty good haul for today. Definitely enough for another batch of marinara. I made a good batch last week. A little acidic because I kept the seeds in and not enough brown sugar. But it's working, so I will try again this week.
Enough. Here's enough for another batch of marinara. Here's some cherry tomatoes for Jane.
Now we need to refresh the cayenne pepper barrier. I've been having good luck with the squirrels this week. Cayenne pepper, squirrel, snakes, cayenne pepper, toy snakes, maybe that Irish spring. It's all helping. I don't know what's really working. I'm gonna make a bunch of chili powder this week. Hopefully you can watch that on tape, but you might not watch it till next week. But in the meantime, I bought a 5-gallon bulk cayenne pepper. It's funny. I put it here, so they started coming in there. I put it there, so they started coming over there. I have it all around this side. They haven't started coming in that side. But I'm just gonna make a whole barricade now so that we have that done for the week until I can make more chili powder, hopefully this weekend. All right, well, we are moving on to another task. My dreams of a beautiful time lapse of surrounding the hoop house in red are dashed. The cayenne pepper hurt Jane's eyes, and she was not interested in moving somewhere where it did not hurt her eyes. We're gonna pick radishes now, aren't we, Jane?
Yeah.
You wanna get the green tub trug?
Okay, meow.
All right, here we go. Okay, not the biggest haul, but that's only half of them. We had the other half a couple weeks ago, as you'll recall. These are going to my mother-in-law, but they look good. Very happy with that. And now we have planted more radishes here. Next, we're going to fix the corn. So, I watched Jacques, the garden gnome. Nifty guy, epic gardener, Kevin's assistant. Big fan of his videos. He's planting corn as well. Oh, I just broke this. Oh, okay, well, let's fix that. Anyway, he is planting corn as well, and he said you can only plant one variety at a time because otherwise they cross-pollinate and they get gross. Now, I've been thinking about using this corn. If it got gross, I could just use it for the squirrels. Throw it off in the woods instead of buying crappy squirrel corn, which I have not been using. that I would have it. But it's occurring to me, these 2 rows are the ones I have lots of seeds of, and they're doing great. But these other 2 rows aren't even actually doing that well. So I'm gonna pull up these few plants that didn't work, and I'm just gonna plant a ton of the Nothstein, whatever. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm a little bit worried that these 2 rows were the same. I'm gonna replant one of these big ones. So we're gonna do that now. Not the most beans in the world, but it's a serving. And given that I had to completely redo them a couple of weeks ago.
But it's just a serving.
Yeah, we'll have them for dinner.
Yep.
So, you know, that does. There's a lot of like,
Yeah.
kind of like leaf mold on some of these leaves. I just tossed them on the ground. It looked like the sort of thing you apply copper fungicide to, but I feel like it's just remnants from before I cleaned these up. By and large, it looks like they're doing really well. So I'm not gonna do anything about that. The new ones over there, we added some poles. Just used the hoops that broke a couple minutes ago to trellis the new ones. That whole batch isn't growing. It gets less sun because of this spruce tree right here, so they'll take a little while longer. I feel like I planted my beans in a bad place and too close together. So next year they're gonna go somewhere else and I'm gonna do fewer beans and with more space. I planted them in containers last year and they worked much better. So maybe where the potatoes are? I don't know, gotta think about it. Well, I got a year to think about it. Okay, let's pick some shallots. Jane, you wanna pick some shallots?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, you can't tell, but that's a really great shallot haul. We're gonna go bungee them up. Let them cure for a month outside. And we're gonna leave out these out here curing for a month, which is very exciting. We got these over here, smaller ones that we picked 2 weeks ago, and they've been on here for about 2 weeks now. I guess that makes sense since I picked them 2 weeks ago. I used a couple of my stir fry and they're great. They're small, but that was kind of the idea. I use these up while those are curing. I'm very excited. That was a very successful shallot run. I'm going to prep that bed this weekend. Might be off camera, I don't know. And then I'll plant more shallots in it for the fall, I think. It's crazy how much this bed settled from when I first made it. That's gonna be like 2 wheelbarrow loads of dirt at least. And it's 95 degrees out. Not sure I want to do that this weekend. Oh hey, it's Sunday. Greetings from the future. I did do this bed. There was a break in the rain. It took 2.5 wheelbarrows full of dirt. It was exhausting. It's 90 degrees out. But it's done. So now back to the past, to you, to our show on Saturday, and back to the kitchen to work on my marinara for me. Onward. My neighbor's having a party this evening and he was very adamant he'll take as many peppers as I can give him, so I will hook you up, sir. They just keep hiding in there. I still have about 10 from last week. A couple of the neighbors, one for me, maybe 2, the rest of the food bank. Just went to the food bank yesterday, but I'll drop off more stuff on Monday. I left the door open to the hoop house and a bird has gotten in there. And I guarantee you, the bird is not smart enough to know how to get out. I'll leave it open for another half hour, see if he can make his way out though. Changing on this bed, the lettuce is doing great. I should probably thin it, but I'm not going to. Celery is starting to sprout, and the carrots are sprouting. Let's get in there. There we go. Carrots are sprouting. Celery is the weakest link, and I can't tell what's weeds or celery, which I had this problem last time. That's celery. That's weeds. That's weeds. Most of it's weeds. Celery is hard for me, man. These seeds, I bet this dirt is too wet and thick still. But we will see. Potatoes are going great. I've had no Japanese beetles on my grapes for 3 weeks. They're going great. This one's almost ready for trellising. This one's going up. I'm gonna need to do some more trellising on it. But maybe tomorrow. And this one's going great. They're all going great. I feel really good about it. I have visions of jackhammering out the concrete, building planters right here. But we'll think about that next year. And these grapes are going great as well. Just climbing all over the hoop house. It's very pretty. The blueberry trees are doing swell. Bush, I need to plant these. Every week I say I'm gonna do it this week. It's not this week though. And the rose bush needs trimming. But now we are going to plant this. So we ordered a ton of summer seeds, specifically things that monarch butterflies like. My wife pointed out to me about putting them on the endangered list. So I got a bunch of seeds for monarch butterflies, but then I realized you need to do it specific to your region. So I ordered a North Carolina monarch butterfly mix that I'm going to do over there in that garden at my mother-in-law's house. And over there on top of our septic. Here I'm going to use some of the stuff I bought before I got that mix that also do attract monarch butterflies, theoretically, but are not necessarily right for our region, I guess, so I want to keep them contained. So we're going to plant 4 different types of flower seeds in this bed now. Okay, well, it turns out I didn't need to worry because I looked up North Carolina native milkweed and it was 17 different varieties, including all 4 I had already bought, so we were good. Milkweed, black hollyhock, zinnias, and marigolds. I keep planting stuff in these beds, they don't work. They're very damp in there still, so I don't have hope. But I did plant swamp milkweed, and I didn't put these things too close together. So once again, we'll give it another shot. It's possible just the deer are eating it. Maybe I should put a camera on it, but I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna keep trying things in these beds. This is not the main butterfly bed area. I got a good mix for seeds. That's coming later. And now that Jane is gone, we will finish our Cayenne Pepper trail. Okay, we have the chest freezer, which I've slowly used up and gotten everything out of over the last several weeks because it needs to be frosted. And we have what remains, which is about 10 pounds of very hot peppers from last year's harvest. I really overdid it on the hot peppers last year, just so many. Yeah, I'd say about 10 pounds. And we have our new dehydrator. And finally, we have a unending need for hot chili powder to protect ourselves from the squirrels. So we are going to dehydrate all of these peppers and then use the new spice grinder right there to turn them into chili powder. I guess I could probably only get like 2 bags at a time into this thing. I don't know, you're supposed to thaw them before you dehydrate them. So I'm gonna thaw a bag or 2. Actually, I'll fill it up, thaw them in it, and then dehydrate them, and the rest will go in the freezer. So we're gonna do that now. swear. They were frozen, so there was no pepper dust in the air. But God, I feel nauseous. I didn't inhale it, I don't sting, my hands are fine, but I just feel sick, and I'm wondering if it's that or if it's just the heat or something. It is 95 degrees in this garage. Anyway, these are ready to go. The top layer is already thawing. I'm gonna give it 10 minutes and then I'm going to start it up. I guess there's no start button. I guess it's just going. Well, let's see how it goes in 12 hours. All right, it's the next day, and I ran this thing for 12 hours overnight. And the peppers are still moist and soft. So I think, you know, because they're all frozen and had a lot of water and frost on them, this is not for eating. This is for squirrels. They're very freezer burned. So I think, you know, we're gonna run it all day today too. See if we can get there. So you guys are gonna have to wait till next week for the thrilling conclusion of, can we make chili powder? Tune in next week. And with that, we are done for the week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.